right, sweet, it's recording. So number one, it's just a very basic find the area of the rectangle. So we're given this hashed area right here. We have height right here, and then we have D right here. Right, and then we're gonna do 1A. And they give us h equals 10 feet. And then b equals 55 feet. Right, now how do you calculate the area of a rectangle? It's very simple. Area equals base times height. Right, so they're asking for the area, so we just plug those two numbers in. 10 feet, 55 feet. Area equals 10 feet times 55 feet. Area would equal 550 feet squared. Or square feet. Right? Very basic stuff. Where's my calculator?
I think this is my calculator. Oh, that's yours?
I have a calculator right here. All right. Basic stuff. All right, number two, we have a circle. That's a terrible circle. And we're gonna do 2A, right? We have a radius right there for R. So for 2A, we're actually given the diameter. Diameter equals 24 inches.
Hello.
So 24 inches, that's, we can just convert that into feet. So diameter, well, actually, where's my towel? There it is. Equals 24 inches, that makes 2 feet right there. And the area of a circle, we all should hopefully know, is pi r squared. But the problem is we're given D, and now we have to find R. So how do you find radius from a diameter? You just divide the diameter by 2. This diameter is the whole length of the circle right there. And radius is only half of that. So radius is just 1 feet. Okay. And then, so we just plug R into there. Area equal pi times 1 foot squared, and that would just be 3.14 feet. I also did it in inches. Calculator. That's good. So if you did in inches instead, you would be putting 12 inches into that parentheses for R. So it'd be pi times 12 inches times 12 inches, and you would get 452.39 square inches. I just put square inches because I started off with inches, but I guess there's really no harm in putting a square feet. Basic stuff. Any questions so far?
Do you know if it has to be, so does it have to be in inches?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think it can be either one. I'm just putting inches just to be safe because that's what we were given. It shouldn't matter. I'm writing.
So like the next question, it says the radius is 1.7 feet. You would just do that times pi, or this squared times pi, and then, okay.
You get square feet. All right. Any other questions?
It's 9 times 10.
Keep on. All right. right, so we're on number 3, and we have a simply supported beam. Should look very familiar from Tech 2.
Looks familiar, but ain't familiar.
We'll be fine. So we have simply supported beam right here. We have a pin right here, and we have a roller. At least I think it's a roller. It seems like a roller right here.
I think that's a roller.
Yeah, it looks like a circle. And then we have a linear load on top of that. Which has the dead load as well as the live load. So both the dead load and the live load are span the entire beam. And then we're given the length of the beam, which is 16 feet. I gotta learn how do I turn off those notifications?
Just put yourself on mute.
I'll just quit Discord. Quit Discord. All right. So for everyone with me so far?
Roger that.
All right, and then we have reactions right here. Right there. And we're just gonna put R. That is at a slight slant, will be fine.
Not a problem, my guy.
And then we're also given a formula for the reaction. So R equals the load times the length over 2. I think this should also be referenced in the shear moment diagrams from Tech 1. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Oh yeah, there it is. If you look at the shear moment diagrams from Tech 2, number 4, simply supported beam, we're just using that equation right there. So basic stuff, we're just going to plug all these numbers in, but first we have to figure out what the load is. So right now we're looking for allowable reaction, and this is different from ultimate reaction. Allowable reaction is unfactored, so you don't have to take into account whatever the factor numbers are, which we'll do later. So 3A, we have the dead load is equal to 1.1 KLF. And we have the live load is equal to 1.7 KLF. Right, so now we have to find the combined load. So how do we do that? We just add the two loads together. So the load is equal to the dead load plus the live load. So we're just going to plug these two in, 1.1 KLF plus 1.7 KLF, and we should get 2.8 KLF.
Wait, Edison, don't forget to put the dot between the two ones where people think that's 11.
Must have written over that.
No, not big.
So 2.8 KLF, that's going to be our load. And so we have everything we need for this equation. We just plug in 2.8 KLF to load, 16 feet to the length, divide that by 2. So R equals 2.8 kips per linear foot times 16 feet divided by 2. Where's my calculator? So you 2.8 times 16 divided by 2. And we're going to get 22.4 kips. So you can see here, kips per linear foot, that's kips over feet. And then we multiply it by 16 feet, so the feet cancel out each other. So we're just left with kips. So so every single linear foot that there is, there's going to be 2.8 kips of load on there. So there's 16 feet, 16 times 2.8, we're going to get 22.4 kips.
Wait, that's even after you divided that by 2?
Yeah, so the 2, it doesn't have a unit, so it just changes the number.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just a factor or a ratio. I think that's how Dean put it. It doesn't affect the units at all. All right. Questions?
Are you gonna do E?
E.
This is PSF.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
For B?
Huh?
Is someone asking for B?
E.
She was asking E.
Oh, E, I gotcha.
E because it's in PSF, not
Yeah, so
KLF.
I'm not sure about that. There's nothing in the lecture. I don't think there's anything in my notes about a PSF. But what I did is I just did the same thing. Well, not the same thing here, because I didn't factor. But I just did the same thing, and I just ended with KLF as my final unit. So right now we're gonna do 3C now. So for 3C, we have the dead load is equal to 1.3 KLF. All right, 1.3 KLF, and then we have the live load, which is 2.2 KLF. All right, so I almost fell off. You're all the way over there.
Be surprised I move quick.
So now we have to factor. We have to factor these loads because they're asking for ultimate reaction. So you have to factor the loads. You have to add a bit of leeway for just fluctuations in load or whatnot. So we're given two numbers. I'm just going to denote this as WD factored or omega D factored. So the dead load factor is just the dead load times 1.2. So we're just going to plug that in. 1.3 KLF times 1.2. And then, where's my calculator? I have it right here. Now we're going to get, that doesn't seem right.
Keep slamming doors.
We're going to get 1.56. 1.56 KLF. Which we have work right here. Okay. And then now we factor in for the live load as well. Omega live factored. And so how do we get factored live load? We just take the live load, multiply it by 1.6. Now, why is 1.6 higher than, why is the factor higher than the factor for the dead load? Well, I think it's just because there's just people, and people are more unpredictable than like the actual structure of the building. So people, the life load, and furniture, furnishing, stuff you put in after you build the building is more unpredictable than the actual building itself whenever you're doing construction. So we take the live load, 2.2 KLF times 1.6, and then we're going to get, where is it? 3.52 KLF by 2 KLF. Double check that. Yep. Right, so now we have factored dead load and we have factored live load. We want ultimate load. So how do we do ultimate load? We just take both of the factored loads and then just add them together.
So that had a billion here. Or just like it's the ultimate. Just
Yeah. ultimate. We're gonna combine both of them. So ultimate load is just gonna be factored dead load plus factored live load. So 1.56 KLF plus 3.52 KLF. And then we're just going to get 5.08 KLF. Is that still on the screen? Oh, yeah, that is. We're good.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, shoot.
So the difference, just to clarify in my own notes, WA is just the live load and the dead load added together, correct?
WA? Are you talking about WU?
Well, I guess I saw a WA on here somewhere. Is it just W then that equals the live load and the dead load, like that equals the weight?
Are you talking about this term right here?
So this is the ultimate one, right?
This is the ultimate load. So it's omega, the W, and it has a subscript of U to denote ultimate.
Oh, I think I'm thinking of allowable maybe, W.
Okay, yeah, that's a number 4.
Okay.
Allowable.
I'll wait for you.
Number 4 is X interest.
Oh, okay. Oh, allowable. Okay, so this one, so number 3, 3A, that would be R sub A, because that would be allowable.
Okay, I gotcha.
I guess you could just use subscript A for allowable, and then subscript U for ultimate.
Thank you.
So now we're going to calculate the ultimate reaction. We're just going to do it right here. So RU is equal to omega sub U L over 2. So you see, I just took that formula up there that we were given, and then I just put subscripts of ultimate underneath the reaction and the load. So now we have 5.08 KLF times 16 feet over 2. And let me do this on my calculator. And we should get 40.64 kips as the ultimate reaction for 3C. Does that make sense?
Hey Edison, I don't see WDF that well. Equals right under 3C.
3C, which thing? Maybe we can move the table a bit closer. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna just unplug it.
I was gonna say you won't be able to charge that.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
One of the chargers are there actually.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I think there's one closer.
Alright.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay.
One more? There's one a bit closer to the charger.
Alright. We'll just make sure all that fits in there.
It should be over here.
Alright.
Yeah, thanks.
So you can read it now. Jacqueline, you can read it now?
Yeah, I can read it.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it's under Edison, right there. Here you go.
Oh, okay.
I was like, where is it? Okay.
Alright.
Give me this.
Alright, cool.
Mission accomplished.
Alright. If we did this from the start, then we would have less problems. Any questions on 3?
What the hell is that?
Alright, fantastic. We're gonna
Actually,
move on to.
sorry.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Did you get the 1.2?
1.2, that was in the lecture notes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So factored dead load is you take the unfactored dead load, multiply it by 1.2. So the load becomes bigger, but we want it to be bigger so we can like compensate for inaccuracies in measurements.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, thanks.
All right. Any other questions? Fantastic. All right, we're gonna move on to number 4.
Well, now you gotta act for this.
All right, number 4. So we're calculating axial stress. Just like architecture school.
Damn right, boy, you know it.
All right, so we're gonna do 3 from here. So we're gonna do 4. We're gonna start off with 4A for this one. First, I gotta draw the thing. I'll just draw axon. That's
Pretty good.
that's all right.
Good enough.
All right, so we have a column, and we have a height right here, and then we have a base right here, and we're given the shoot. What is that called?
Third time's a charm.
Where's my notes? I knew I should have written this down somewhere more accessible.
What are you looking for?
What the frickin' A sub T stands for.
Oh, is it like area total or something, or volume?
A tributary area.
Tributary.
All right, so we have a tributary area, A sub T of 100 feet squared. And then we have the load, which is 375 pounds per square foot. And then, so this is just for 4A through 4D. And then we're given, for 4A, we are given B is equal to 2 feet. So the base, that's 2 feet long, and then height is 3 feet. Okay. Now, we want to calculate axial stress. So the formula for axial stress is, I think that's sigma. All right, so sigma is equal to axial load over area. So sigma, that's for stress, load, axial load, and then we have area. So a load over an area, that would be a weight over a length squared, would be stress. So it would be kips per square feet, pounds per square inch, pounds per square feet, those types of units. So how do we? So first off, we can just figure out area real quick. Area, B times H. Area, probably don't even need to write out the formula. Just gonna do area is 6 feet squared. So 2 feet times 3 feet, get 6 feet squared. Squared because you're multiplying a foot unit by a foot unit, so feet squared. Now we want to know what the axial load is. Or I think axial load. Yeah. So now whenever I first saw this question, I saw the tributary area. I'm like, oh, yeah, we're just gonna put 100 square feet into this A. No, that's not how it works. So I think how this works is we have. I'm just gonna make a tiny little illustration right here. Right, we have a column right here, and then we have a slab. That looks terrible. We have a slab on top of that column. Just gonna make that dashed. Looks terrible, but you get the idea that there's this slab that's resting on top of a column, and this slab this area, this tributary area, is for this slab. And then the load is on this slab. So now you want to figure out what the axial load is onto this column right here. So how do we get axial load? Well, how do we get axial load? We just take so axial load is equal to tributary area times the load. So pounds per square feet times feet squared, you would get pounds. So let's just figure that out real quick. Let's just put it down here because we're going to use it for another question. So P is equal to 100 feet squared times 375 pounds per square foot. All right, multiply those together, and we should get 37,500 pounds. Now, it's a pretty big number. We don't want to use that number. So we're just going to convert that into kips. So just multiply it by 1,000. Yeah, by 1,000. We have, or divided by 1,000. So multiply by 1,000 pounds under 1 kip. So you see, this is essentially just multiplying something by 1, but we're cheating here because we can just change the unit magically. So 1 kip is the same as 1,000 pounds. Put them on top of each other. We're just multiplying by 1. So we're not changing anything in the equation. We're not adding anything. We're not taking away anything. We're just substituting pounds for kips. So pounds numerator, pounds denominator, those cancel out. So we're just left with kips. So we have 37,500. Divide that by 1,000. You get 37.5, and we're left with kips. Did that make any sense? Did that not make sense?
No, something like this.
All right, fantastic. So now we have load. Cool. Now we can just go back up here, and omega equals, no, sigma, not omega, sigma. I'm fairly certain that's sigma. 37.5 kips over the area was 6 feet squared. 6 feet squared. Plug that into your calculator. You get 6.25 KSF, kips per square foot. So that is the stress for 4A.
For architecture school.
Questions? All right, fantastic. We're just going to move on to 4C. So 4C is a bit different, still same basic concept, except for 4C, we're going to have a round column. We're going to have a round column with a radius r. So remember in question 1, question 2, we were solving the area for a rectangle and solving the area for a circle. Now we can use that here. We solved the area for a rectangle here, and now we're solving for the area of a circle here. So 4C. 4C. We're just given radius equals 1 foot. So area of a circle, as we know, pi r squared. You just plug that in. It should just get 3.14 feet squared. Area equals 3.14 feet squared. Just going to put Just gonna put the equation right here in case you need it. Area is equal to pi r squared.
Oh, that's how you got the 3.1 foot squared.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 1 squared is just 1, and multiplied by a pi, which is 3.14.
Yeah, because I was about to be like, where'd you get that? But now I got it.
All right, so this is still using the same tributary load and tributary area and same load. So we're going to use this 37.5 kips with this area. So sigma is equal to P over A, load 37.5 kips, area 3.14 feet squared. Is that on the camera? Barely. And then we're left with 11.94 kips per square foot. Double check that on my calculator.
All about the calculator.
So that's the stress for 4C.
Stress for a horse.
Questions?
Nope.
All right, fantastic. Now we're gonna do 4E. I probably shouldn't have to erase that. What was up here? Like
I think you had your
stress equals load over area,
Yeah.
and then tributary area. P is equal to tributary area times load. So 4E, we're given, so we're scratching this load right here. We're given a new tributary area and load. It doesn't have sub T, which is strange, but I think this is what they're going for. So 4E area is 250 feet squared. We have the load, which is 1.5 kips per square foot. So now we're given KSF. In 4A, we were given PSF, but now we're in KSF. So we should be getting, when we multiply these together, we should be getting a value of kips. Radius is 1.5 feet. All right. So Deja had to go. Yeah, she had to leave at 2. Shoot.
You got 30 minutes to live.
We got 30 minutes until I have to leave.
We're good.
All right. So fantastic. We're just gonna solve for P real quick. We're gonna solve for axial load. Load is equal to 250 feet squared times 1.5 kips per square foot, and we should get 375 kips, right? That seems about right, maybe. Yeah, quick maths. All right, now we're going to solve for area. Area, so we're given radius, so it's a circle. We know it's a circle, and area is pi r squared. Area is equal to pi times 1.5 feet squared. So fine.
Poor calculator, they deserve that. It's
My
like
poor
Edison,
calculator.
Why'd you do this to me, Father? Why?
It's actually my brother's calculator, but
Would you
he
do
doesn't
this?
use it.
Why'd you do this to me, Uncle? Why?
So 7.069 feet squared. So remember, pi is just a number, so it's not changing the units in any way. shape, or form. You get the feet squared from these 2 feet, and pi, that's just a number, so we're just changing this part of the answer. Right, so now we want stress. We have area, we have load. Just divide them together and we'll be good. Stress is equal to pounds over area. No. Load, axial load over area. So 375 kips. 375 kips over 7.069 feet squared. You multiply that out. That 3 looks terrible. It looks like a weird Z.
You
Oh,
call
God.
him Z's weird? Make fun of my last name?
3, 7. Who cares about you? I'm kidding.
Ouch. Ouch.
All right, 375 divided by 7.069, and we should end up with. That looks good. That's about right. 50. Oh God. Right, like this from this side is weird. 53.049 KSF. You would get a different number if you use like the actual number, because pi, that's a pretty big number, or pretty long number with a bunch of digits. But if we just use these, I would get this. If you like use the store method or store function in your calculator, you would get so this is approximate. You would get 53.052 KSF. So you see these are like very similar, but because of the inaccuracies of just using 7.069, the numbers are going to be slightly off. It shouldn't matter which one you use. If it does matter, then our professor grades very harshly.
She is very picky, apparently.
Yeah. So I think you'd be safe with either one.
I mean, it's really only 0.003 off.
Yeah, and it honestly shouldn't matter. Like she might even just take 53 kips per square foot. This is just like 5 significant values, so it's a little excessive.
She might even take 53.05 because you can always round up that top one to 53.05.
Yeah. So just significant values or significant figures, stuff you learn in math, physics, whatever. Questions?
For D and F, because they're like in inches, and like our AT is in feet, should we be converting the inch to feet when solving?
I think again for like for 3, I don't think it should matter. I convert to feet because it's a tidier number, right? So I convert the inches to feet, and then the answer I got was kips per square feet. It shouldn't matter, but I just converted it because it looks nicer.
Okay, thank you. That's all I was wondering.
And remember, this is all based on how our professor grades the homework. So does she grade it harshly? Does she grade it with like a bit of leniency? We'll see. We don't really know. All right. Any other questions? Fantastic. All right, we're gonna move on to number 5, and I think we'll just do. We'll just do one. We'll just do one from number 5. We'll just do 5A.
I just keep going.
Looking at me weird.
I was watching you at the whiteboard.
Yeah. All right.
She was
So,
saying she's about to start going white. Wipe it.
All right. I'm just pulling up something real quick.
Oh my god, that's what I was thinking of.
All right, we have, so for number 5, we have a cantilever beam. Right, we have a cantilever beam. So this is the wall right there. And we have the beam, bam, attached. And then we have a linear load. And then the linear loads are both the dead load and the live load. And we're given elastic modulus. What did Professor Deans call this term? Because like there's elastic modulus, Young's modulus.
Modulus of elasticity, what?
Modulus less. Is that what she said?
Maybe.
Let us see.
Let us pray. All these just like let us pray.
Modulus of elasticity, yeah. All right. So modulus of elasticity is 29,000 KSI, kips per square inch. So this is steel. This is a steel beam. That's the number for steel. It is crazy.
It's pretty neat, not gonna lie.
And then, of course, gotta have L right there.
Gotta take that down.
Make that thicker. That didn't help at all.
Well done.
All right, so we're calculating deflections here, and she was nice and gave us a very fun formula. Deflection in a cantilever beam is equal to load times the length to the 4th over 8 times modulus of elasticity times moment of inertia. So this should seem familiar, hopefully, because from Tech 2, from, again, the shear moment diagrams, we have that formula right there. Right? So it's just taking from this formula, or from this worksheet. Stop rotating the desk.
Wait, is it me or no? That's me.
I don't know.
That's not me.
Someone's rotating the desk. All right, we're good. That's a little cut off. All right, we're good. So for 4A, no, we're on 5. 5A. 5A, we're given the dead load is 1.0 kips per linear foot. The live load, did I say live load earlier?
No, you said dead load, then live load.
Okay.
So you said whistle and diesel. WD.
Live load is 2.0 kips per linear foot. The length of the beam right there is 30 feet. And the moment of inertia, I, is 16,000 inches to the 4th. So just as a reminder of what is it? Modulus of elasticity. I need to memorize that. Modulus of elasticity is a property of the material, what the beam is made out of, and moment of inertia is a property of what shape the beam is. So we have material and shape, and that just plays into how much it deflects. You know, the higher the modulus of elasticity, the higher the moment of inertia, we're going to have a lower deflection. You know, on the bottom, on the denominator, it's going to be an inverse relationship with that. Anyway, so we're almost there. We just have to figure out. We're just going to have to figure out the load. So this is gonna be unfactored because this is a deflection. We're not calculating for like leeway or like what something can hold. This is an actual beam with a given load, so we don't have to take any factoring into consideration. So we don't need to factor, we can just add these together. So load is equal to dead load plus live load 1.0 KLF plus 2.0 KLF, and we're going to get 3.0 KLF for the load. So we got that one. We got the length, 30 feet. We got 8, that's just given to us, that's a factor. Got no units. Modulus elasticity, we're given that. And moment of inertia, we're also given that. So fantastic, let's plug it all in. So deflection would equal, I'm just going to do the bottom one first because that's going to be longer. 8 times 29,000 KSI, kips per square inch, times moment of inertia. We're given 16,000 inches to the fourth. 16,000 inches to the fourth.
That's a long notebook.
Is very long. And then we're just going to do the numerator. The load, we're given 3.0 KLF, 3.0 KLF.
Professor Ed,
Yo,
is that a 4?
It's supposed to be, yes.
That's a 4.
I'm just making sure.
That's a 4. And then we have the length, 30 feet. And we're gonna put that to the fourth. But there's a problem here. You see, we have kips, that's fine. But here we have linear foot, square inch, inches to the fourth. So we have to convert these two, or these two. I would convert the top two.
To the bigger numbers?
Yeah, so we're going to convert these into bigger numbers, or convert this one to a bigger number, convert this one to a smaller number. So it's going to write the same thing right here. Kips per square inch. 16,000 inches to the fourth. Cool. Now we're going to convert kips per linear foot to kips per linear inch, I guess. I don't know if that's an actual, like a standardized or a standard unit, but we're just going to do that.
So just 3.0 times 12?
Well, not times 12. We're going to divide by 12. Now, why is that? I'm just going to write this out.
No.
That's huge. Humongous. 3.0 kips per foot. Kips per linear foot. Right? So this is how you would visualize this. You have kips on the numerator over the denominator of feet. So we're going to want to turn this feet into inches. So remember what we did earlier. We're just going to multiply by 1, essentially. We're going to multiply by 1 foot over 12 inches. 1 foot, 12 inches, they're the same. Put them on top of each other. We're multiplying by 1. We're not changing the equation at all. We're just taking away this foot right here. So those cancel out. And now we're left with kips over inches. So 3.0 divided by 12 inches. And then I'm just going to write that down here. So 3.0 divided by 12, that's just going to leave you with 0.25 kips per inch. So see how we canceled that out? Now we want to convert 30 feet into inches. So we're going to have 30 feet. And we're going to multiply it by not 1 foot over 12 inches this time, but we're going to multiply it by 12 inches over 1 foot. So why do we flip it? Well, you see how foot, that's on the numerator right now. So we have to put the foot in the denominator so these two can cancel out. So we're left with inches on the numerator. So you see 30 times 12 inches. It's going to get 360 inches to the 4th. Did I lose anyone? Did that make sense? Did that not make sense?
I'm still here. Trying to make things down. Thank you, sir.
I'm surprised that no one has any questions. All right.
I'm actually following along pretty good.
All right. Fantastic. And now comes the fun part. Where's my calculator? Now comes the fun part. We're just going to multiply this all together. 0.25 times 360 to the 4th divided by 8. 29,000. 16,000. And we should be left with 1.131 inches. I thought you were going to keep going. Yeah. So inches. If you didn't know what we would come to inches, well, first of all, deflection is going to be a unit of length. So 1 unit of inches. But if we just turn this KSI, I'm going to turn that into a more visual, better kips per inches squared. So right here, you see these inches to the 4th, inches to the 4th. These will cancel out. And then we have kips on the numerators here. So those will cancel out. And we have an inch on the denominator here. We have inches squared on the denominator here. So 1 value, so 1 unit of inches will be cut off from here. Well, so this inch will cancel out, and then 1 unit of inches will be cut off from here. So there's only 1 inch left. And it's in this denominator, but it's also in another denominator, so that just becomes the numerator.
Not just one.
Units. I'm talking about units right now. All right. Did I lose anyone?
Absolutely.
If you don't understand, just it's deflection. So look for the common length value, and then it should be just 1 unit of that.
I hate to say this, but you're not going to be able to do number 6.
Which one's number 6?
I'm talking about time-wise.
Oh.
We believe.
Okay. I'll be late for tech. Then we'll be fine.
Bro, just join.
Or maybe I just won't go to the Freedom by Design meeting. Anyways, we'll finish number 6 and then we'll see how my schedule goes. Shoot.
Wait, that was the first part of 5A, right?
Was that the first part of 5A?
Because you want to get the L.
Oh, shucks.
The L number.
Shucks. Okay.
Oh, there's 2 and 5A's a 2-parter.
I forgot about that. Okay. So deflection, I already erased that. Deflection 1.13
1. Yeah, that's
inches.
a big difference right there.
All right. So now we also have deflection. We have another deflection, and this is going to be in terms, this is what she wrote in parentheses, in terms of L over the number. So I think she just wants us to essentially find, we're just going to take L, which is, shush. 30 feet, but we already converted that to 360 inches. So 360 inches over the number, which I assume is the deflection length. or deflection amount, 1.131 inches. And we're gonna get 318.24, or just 318. So this is kind of like a ratio almost. So that's why there's no units, because we have inches divided by inches. And as you'll see in the paper, she didn't include units. So you're just gonna write 318.24, just 318. The 0.24 shouldn't matter. Cool. Sorry, I missed that. Any questions? You can go home.
I know I can.
All right.
No idea where it came
Cool.
from.
So now we're gonna just finish off with number 6.
You need to go.
Thank you for catching that, by the way.
What?
Got you, bro.
Yeah.
The two-parter.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. Number 6.
You missed the spot.
At least you didn't miss a part.
Thanks.
I was gonna throw in your face. Or
Be
not.
quick with it, man.
You actually like just tips over your towel. Whips me right here.
Got
when I
him.
did that.
Man, that's how you just whip that.
Whoa. Whoa.
I'm leaving.
Whoa. All right. I don't know if the mic picked that up.
Probably.
Okay, because this is going on YouTube.
Yikes.
All right.
Okay, back to homework.
Back to homework. Back to important things.
Just love us.
Just stop.
See, this is much better than what we had before. We have actual banter going on.
Right.
This is amazing.
Other than dead silence.
It's just me talking to a computer screen and like half of you don't have your cameras on.
Camera's always on, yeah.
My
Yeah.
camera's off at the moment.
Oh my.
You're in person.
Right.
All right. Length.
I'm still online.
All right. So now we want to calculate the ultimate moment in this. So I'm just gonna do one of these because they're all the same. One of them's pounds per linear foot, pounds per linear feet instead of kips per linear feet. And one of them's given in inches as well instead of feet. So we're just gonna do, you know what? We're gonna just switch it up. We're not gonna do 6A. That's stupid. We're gonna do 6C. No, wait.
6C.
No, that's hush. Oh, 2 of them are in pounds per linear foot. Okay, we're gonna do 6B. We're gonna do 6B. We're gonna do 6B, all right. I was contemplating 6D, but all right, set at 6B, we're gonna do 6B. So, beam, we got 4 points right now. So we have 3 lengths. And we're also given, before we do that, we're also given the formula. Ultimate moment is equal to 0.1 times ultimate load times length squared. Now this would be in like your in shear and moment diagrams from Clevis Tech 2, but
That is true.
it would be in there, but like this is not a simply supported beam, or I don't know what it is, but we've got like 2 pins and 2 rollers, so this formula would appear in there, but it's like special. So I'm just gonna rewrite this, ultimate load times your special.
Hey.
Thank you.
Wait,
I really appreciate
Compliment.
Are you sure you're talking to me? Or are you talking to me?
it. I wasn't the one going, imagine.
So multiplying something by 0.1 is the same as dividing something by 10. So I just put ultimate load times length squared over 10. Great.
I'm sorry.
So for 6B, we're given the dead load is equal to 1.8 KLF, right? Yeah. Live load is equal to 2.1 KLF. And then finally, length is equal to 18 feet. 18 feet. So we're gonna be wanting to get to here. We already have L. We just need to find ultimate load. Now, ultimate load, if you remember, you need to factor it. So we're just gonna factor dead load. Remember that was from like I don't know, number 3.
Number 1.
That's from number 3. I did the same thing here. Factor dead load is just the dead load times 1.2. This number was given in the lecture, so 1.8 KLF times 1.2. That would be 2.16 KLF. Fantastic. Now we're going to do live load. Factor live load is just the live load times 1.6. So that would be 2.1 KLF times 1.6. That would end up with 3.36 KLF. Did I lose anyone? Cool. All right. So now we have both of the factored loads. So to get the ultimate load, we're just going to add them together. Remember, ultimate load is the factored dead load plus the factored live load. So we're just going to do 2.16 KLF plus 3.36 KLF. Is that going to be on screen? That's going to be on screen.
Damn right, boy.
Yes,
Wow.
sir. And then
Crazy.
I didn't add these together on my worksheet, so I've got to do it here.
How dare you?
Hush, child. Plus,
Aren't I older than him?
probably
Oh.
5.52 KLF.
It's all about the wisdom.
My age just got insulted just now.
I didn't insult your age. I just asked if I was older than you.
You indirectly insulted my age. How
Okay.
dare you?
That's okay. I'll accept.
All right. So ultimate load, 5.52 kips per linear feet. And
Getting shotgun right now. You shoot them both.
right. Cool. So now we're just gonna plug this in to there. Gonna plug that in into there.
Really?
Magic stuff. You know, if this was online, this would be much more sophisticated.
You're right, because I would not be making these things. I'd be making it to myself. On mute.
5.52 kips per linear foot
And I would be the only one left.
times 18 feet squared over 10.
And that is.
You would end up with 178.85 kip feet.
That's a big guacamole.
Kip feet. Why kip feet?
Because
Well,
it says kip feet.
That's a good. That's
so
a
we have
good
kips
point
per
right
linear
there.
foot, and we multiply it by feet squared. So I'm just gonna do the same thing here.
It says feet.
You know, if this was a classroom, I would kick you out right
I know you would. Trust me, I know.
So kips per linear foot, that's just
But
kips.
it's not.
Tip over
You have to
feet.
listen to me.
Well, you're listening to me right now,
That's true, but you're also listening to me.
Yeah, you're.
peer to peer. So kips, feet on the denominator, we have feet units on the numerator. So this foot would get canceled out, and there would just be 1 foot on the numerator. Therefore, kip feet, we didn't touch the kip, so that stays.
Actually, 178.85 feet. Kip. Less.
1 unit of kips and 1 unit of feet. And that's the ultimate moment. Questions, concerns, comments?
2:30.
Or I'm about to take off. I'm about to go zoom.
Better start running.
I'm about to start huffing it.
I need to pack up first.
So pack it up.
So you're trying to go where where you trying to go?
Home.
Right, to the bus station.
Yeah.
You're gonna give you.
Can you drive me?
I mean, just driving.
Okay, fantastic.
I would
All right,
offer, but
all
my
right,
truck is in
we're
the
done.
garage.
Questions, concerns before I stop the recording?
I was also gonna offer because I also have to drive home. So.
Oh.
But it's right there.
All right, I'm stopping. All right, cool.
You seem like it's such a hard place.
It's not.